Well, thank you so much for being here, everyone. As you know, we need to strategize. It's 2 days to go before the Atlanta rally, and the Veep needs some help. You know, the donations are pouring in big time ever since the president endorsed her, but we are still struggling to get that black vote. So we need to come up with some strategies as to how we can get them on our side. This rally is going to be really big, lots of eyes on her. So let's see what we've got here. Let me just start off right here. As I mentioned, she's speaking before a large crowd in Atlanta. So for that, I'm thinking that we get a Houston rapper to perform.
Well, I know that the Veep had her heart set on Kaya.
Kaya?
Kaya.
What does she want her to perform?
She wanted her to sing Snatch the Cat Back.
We're getting Megan the Stallion to perform.
I know she wanted her to perform Snatch the Cat Back, but okay.
Next.
Here's another thing I was going to suggest.
We definitely need a sister girl, but I just don't know who we're going to get.
Oh, if you're talking about sister girl, I would say either one of two people. Either RuPaul or Taraji.
I don't know who that is.
Taraji, she's been like in like down
Never
for
heard
a pimp. I don't know the words, but you know that song. It's hard out here for a pimp, something like that. I think those are the words.
And people in the black community know this Taraji.
She works with Tyler Perry. She works with like
is.
Tyler Perry all the time. Tyler Perry.
I don't know who that is.
Tyler Perry is like one of the biggest things out of Atlanta. He's everything in Atlanta. You don't know Tyler Perry.
But this Tyler and Taraji, they know them.
Well, Taraji is really big.
Okay. So maybe we'll have her jump on the call with the Veep and just have a sister girl moment where they just chat about, I don't know, being in these streets, and let's just see how that goes.
I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
This is perfect. This is exactly what we need.
Hello everyone, my name is Rogan and this is This Bahamian Gyal. On my platform I do social commentary and reaction videos. I encourage my audience to have private conversations in public. So I'm starting to see a stark difference in the way that black voters are courted versus other non-black voters. I know many of you tuned into Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in Atlanta, where she brought out a number of celebrities, namely Megan the Stallion and Quavo, to sort of introduce her before she got before the crowd. Now that whole event set off a firestorm of controversy, and I was very surprised to see so many women, black women that is, stepping up and saying that they were not feeling the entertainment section of that rally. They thought that it was inappropriate to have Megan the Stallion come out and twerk on stage. Many people were upset, and one of the things that they kept talking about is the fact that we are being taken for a joke in the black community, and that politicians don't seem to take us very seriously, and they feel as if the only way that they can get our attention is to have entertainers on the stage shaking their tushies. I come from a rally background. When I mean a rally background, back home in the Bahamas, like, rallies are everything. That's how you get face to face with your base. That's how you sort of rally the base. That's why they're called rallies, you know, and that's when it's supposed to be fun and great entertainment. And I'm certainly no stick in the mud when it comes to that. I think you want to have a nice healthy balance of entertainment just to get the crowd riled up. But I think the problem that comes into play really is if that's all the crowd is there for. Did they come out because they wanted to hear the message from Kamala Harris and they wanted to see what she planned to do moving forward if she is in fact elected President of the United States? Or was it an opportunity to party and have a front row seat at a concert? I needed a little bit more. I just want us to, yes, have fun at a rally, but put a little bit more pressure on these politicians to give us much more than just entertainment. But that's going to have to come from us. What are you talking about that's going to help us in our community? Because if you only show that you're interested in a good time and a concert, then that's all that they will give you. One of the things I'd like to hear Kamala Harris talk a little bit more about in the black community is about our finances. Time magazine did an article earlier this year that said that debt has long been a tool for limiting black freedom, and the debt load is proportionally higher among women and black people. If you were on social media during that event, during that rally, and even in the aftermath, you would have seen people weighing in and asking, like, what the heck is this? Like, this is just so inappropriate to have someone on stage twerking while we're trying to figure out what's going on with the economy, what we're going to do about the black community in terms of violence in the community, in terms of finances, which is extremely important. One of the speakers that they introduced was Quavo. I was so interested in hearing Quavo's speech. A lot of people were like, what's Quavo doing there? Well, he's from Atlanta and he lost his nephew to gun violence. His nephew was shot to death and his bandmate right in the front of him. So it was very appropriate to have Quavo there, despite people saying he shouldn't have been there. But I wanted to hear him disavow gun violence a little bit stronger and say, listen, this is after what happened to my own nephew and my own family member. I'm not going to be rapping about gun violence or something. It just felt very empty.
This city has always been home to me, from playing in the streets and, nurturing me and teaching me how to be the man I am standing before you. So, one of these issues that I care about is resolving the gun violence issue. And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business. From inviting me, what's up, mama? From inviting me to the White House last year to discuss these solutions to passing the biggest gun safety laws to date.
To me, it feels like someone from Harris's team handed him a script and said, just read this and then just add in a few ad libs. That's what it feels like. And then Kamala Harris took the stage a little later on and she spoke for about 20 minutes. And I heard people saying, oh, I wasn't tuning into that, or she wasn't making any sense. Well, she did make sense. It wasn't full of meat. It didn't have a lot of meat to the speech, but she did talk about some things that I'd like to mention here as it relates to what her plans are. And I wrote them down as I was watching. She said that she wants to rebuild the middle class. And she said that's going to be a real defining goal of her presidency if she's elected. She says she wants to take on price gouging and bring down costs. She wants to ban hidden fees and surprise late charges that a lot of these banks are imposing on their customers. She says she wants to put a cap on unfair rent increases. I would have loved to have heard a little bit more about that. Then she wants to take on prescription pharmaceutical companies to cap drug increases. And then she had a few punches at Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda, and she called it a plan to weaken the middle class. She says she wants to stop the abortion bans and restore reproductive freedoms for women across America. So she was definitely giving sort of like bullet points as to what she wants to do or what she hopes to accomplish, but I wish that she had gone a little bit more in depth. And I wonder if she didn't go so much in depth because, our audience has shown not so much of an appetite for these discussions. But I think they're making a huge mistake in thinking that Black voters aren't watching or listening. But sometimes this is the only way that people are going to hear what your real plans are. And to just kind of give this bare bones address as to, oh, this is what I'm going to do and that's what I'm going to do. Back to the controversy about the concert. I said I noticed like a complete difference in the way that Kamala Harris is addressing her Black audience versus non-Black audiences. And I wonder if she were to address an Indian American audience, if she was going to come out with like a big Bollywood star on the stage. I doubt it. Or, if she were addressing a Mexican American audience, if she's going to come out with like a mariachi band or something like that, I doubt it. Because I can guarantee you, if you watch how she addresses other non-Black communities, it's going to be vastly different. Let's talk about Kamala Harris's blackcent.
So I'm gonna get into some business now. Okay, I'm gonna get into some business now.
That one was so cringe. OMG. It had me cracking up when I heard it because I don't think that I've ever heard her speak like that in the front of any other audience. It's one thing if you genuinely talk like that. If like she had a track record of speaking like that and people were making fun of her, I'd be like, hey, this is who this woman is. But it seemed like her team behind the scenes was like telling her to turn up the sister girl. Turn up that sister girl, Kamala.
She's definitely going to have to bump up the accent. Or as we say, blackcent.
She definitely needs to bump it up for sure.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to give this to the Beep. That is the first ever DVD of the original Friday. That's the one with Smokey and Big Worm. I want the Veep to listen to how Smokey pronounces 20, because he never says 20. And if you're going to talk to the Black community, you need to be able to speak in terms that they understand. So I don't want her to say 2024. I need her to say 20. And okay. He says 20 in a certain way that I just let her listen to that. All right, so listen, let's just go over this one more time. We've got Megan the Stallion. We've got this Taraji. You're sure the Black community knows this Taraji. You sure they know her? I'm putting this on you. If we fail, this is on you. And number 3, we're going to have her turn up that blackcent. Do you have the Friday DVD?
This is to help with her blackcent? Okay.
Okay, we're going to give that to her, and let's go get them.
I think we should all be grateful that the donations are coming back in, because I would have had like no job right now. Oh, by the way, you might want to take off that hat. She thinks you're MAGA. Listen, I don't need to be pandered to. When she is speaking before a non-black audience, she is not going to be talking about being in these streets. Can you imagine her going before an Indian audience or what do you call it, a Jewish audience, and saying that she, you know, girl, you know I be in these streets. They'd be like, excuse me? She what? She be in these streets? You work at the White House. What streets? Anytime you got to step into the street, you have a security detail. You ain't in these streets, Kamala. She be in these streets. Girl, you do not be in these streets. I'm in DC. Now, when Taraji says she been in these streets, I believe Taraji been in these streets. Anyway, well, let me know what y'all think about the Veeps. The Veep being the vice president. The Veeps blackcent, about her decision to bring out the rappers, about her decision to be in these streets. Like, do you think this is all a ruse? Is it all an act? Or you think Kamala Harris really is out in these streets? And what is she doing out in these streets? Drop your comments down below. I'll see y'all next week in these DC streets. Bye!
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.